gotta get me some Flogging Molly records. Flogging Molly are my 6th favorite band of all time, and I am so excited to finally be getting to talk about a new Flogging Molly project here on the channel. Flogging Molly's 7th studio album is here, entitled Anthem. So let's dig into the anthem and see if it'll shake things up, either up or down on my list, and if it stays true to its namesake. Punk rock! Oh yeah, before we get into the video, this is something really exciting. These songs were showing 0 likes when I first listened to them. 0 views, 0 likes. I was the first person to hear this record, guys. That's pretty exciting, other than the band. Speaking of the Flog, they're a near flawless band to my ears. I like 96.51% of their catalog, which is an impressive feat for any band, for any fan. There were parts, I think there was about 3 songs on Speed of Darkness that I didn't particularly enjoy, but everything else from the Flog, is that what we call them? The Molly, is perfect. They are a near perfect band. These Times Got Me Drinking. We're just going to jump right into the tracks. It begins with the quiet side of Flogging Molly for the introduction to the album. The violins, the accordions, yanking my heartstrings, not even 5 seconds into the record. While it's not necessarily their strongest song, it does remind me of the best parts of their catalog, maybe like a Float or a Within a Mile of Home, kind of those esque vibes. Don't pity me, I'm just broken. I am broken, guys. These times, they have me drinking. Songs of Liberty approaches the flogging sound in a completely new way. In its intro, before the rhythm section of Nathan and Max takes us home to the Flogging Molly sound of familiarity. Some bands are great at sadness and some bands are great at happiness, and Flogging Molly excel at both. This is a happy song for the most part, and a pretty good one at that. Also, I think that they got Johnny from The Devil Went Down to Georgia fame to jump in on the track at the 2-minute mark, because Unholy Fiddles, Batman. Times it got me drinking. Oh, you guys are over there? I'm going to be looking over there anyway. Life begins and ends. Paints with a pirate brush stroke under a restless sky. The boats are sailing. The sadness mocks the wailing of the walls. Dave King and Bridget are the stars here. I think I pronounced her name right. On this track, the verses in an almost standard rock and roll territory, but keeps the punk rock energy up as the walls are climbed, the questions are asked, and the spirits flipping fly through the sky like eagles by and by. The birds never die. Bless you. Guitar solo from Heaven. That was pretty nice as well. That was a dog barking. No Last Goodbyes is an emotional high point of the record, and it's a musical revelation if there ever was one. I was also the first person on earth to hear this one for sure. This one, No Last Goodbyes. It sounds like it's addressing a certain worldwide medical issue from 2020. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but gosh darn it, I stand alone with Flogging Molly. Godsmack, you know, those guys are tough. They can take care of themselves as they're propped up on their motorcycles outside of their biker bars. They're bad bike riding dudes, but me and Flogging Molly, we are sensitive. We have emotions. Well, Godsmack have emotions, but me and Flogging Molly, they're a little bit on more on my level. I wear cow hoodies, so I like Flogging Molly. I stand alone. You let your spirit all inside me. I'm not dying for her. I'm a crappie boy in a crappy world. This one has me doing some research on exactly what crappie is, or more precisely, Yeah, I wasn't really researching. I was Googled what the heck a crappie boy was. My research tragically led me to the Wikipedia page of Pixie Cuts, which is not tragic, but very, very good. I'm glad I ended up there. I learned a lot. You can't see it, but I do have a pixie cut and a mohawk. This road of mine. This one started kind of not on my best side, but it became a grower, and now it's even more. It's actually a highlight of the record, I think. The lyrical delivery gets me right in my lyricist's bleeding heart, and there's a rip-roaring country guitar solo in the mix as well. Even some Irish millennial whoa-oh-ohs, which are spectacular. Only Flogging Molly could make millennial whoa-oh-ohs good. So that's another plus. It's a rock and roll cliche is what we have next. The parentheses track. And the parentheses track of this album is next. It's fast, but soft at the same time. It's at this point in my review or this video that I'm realizing that Flogging Molly can be a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging to review. One could argue, if you didn't love them or you weren't a fan, that they do have the AC/DC problem, that every song sounds the same. And I would defend Flogging Molly with a list. I love making lists. That's what this channel is about. I would defend them with the best example being Float. I think that one does a really good job at branching out. But there's a lot of other ones too that, you guys can leave a comment on what other Flogging Molly songs would make somebody, stop believing that they are the AC/DC of Irish rock music, if there was one. Yeah, Float is a good example, but from a hater's perspective, someone who's perhaps on Dropkick, Team Dropkick and Anti-Flog, I could totally see how it could, all of Flogging Molly could run together for them, but screw them. I like Dropkick and Flogging Molly, but Molly beats Dropkick for sure. Dropkick are my 125th favorite band, which means I don't like a lot of their catalog. Flogging Molly are number 6. Anthem does have a more slower and mid-paced range of songs, but the songcraft and magic from the previous 6 albums, the extra left this band, even during lockdown when they were doing acoustic performances on the YouTubes. This YouTubes, I believe. This record did bump up their perfection on my list from their 96.51 percentage to 96.90. But my top 5 bands are extremely hard to beat, and Flogging Molly are staying locked into their number 6 spot right now. They're staying locked into that slot. Flogging Molly Anthem. What do you think, guys? Buddy? Buddy? Why did you eat your dog food? That doesn't make sense. I'm giving Flogging Molly Anthem a perfect 5 out of 5.